Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. I'm Yomesh Gupta, and in this video we are going to solve a front-end interview question that is commonly asked in the interview process of companies like Facebook. Many users have reported that they have encountered this question, which is how to implement event emitter in JavaScript in the interview process of Meta, Google, and a few other companies. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So in this question, we have to implement event emitter. So let's see the question description. It says that we need to create an event emitter that goes like emitter, where we have to create a new instance of the emitter using the new keyword. After that, we have on the object instance, we have a method called subscribe that takes a function name or event name to be exact and a callback, and we can attach multiple callback to the same event name. Once let's say we have attached multiple callbacks, then we can invoke or emit the event and pass n number of arguments to this. So this callback 1 and 2 will receive all these arguments, and at last we can release the subscription. Let's say for subscription 1 we can call release, then this subscription is release, and if we call emit after this, then this callback will not be invoked. But we can do for sub 2 that if we emit after the sub 1 is released, then sub 2 would still be called. So let's go to the implementation part. Let's delete all this. So if we see, like I mentioned, that we have a constructor call with a new keyword, then we have two methods, subscribe and emit, and the subscribe returns an object that gives us release method. Okay, so let's create a blueprint first. So we'll have a constructor. In constructor, we'll do some processing. Then as per the question description, we have a subscribe method that is going to take an event name, and it is going to take a callback. Using this we are going to do some processing. Then at last we have also this returns an object, so let's return it, which is going to have a single key or method called release, and it won't take any argument. So we'll just release the subscription here. We'll do the implementation later. I'm just writing the blueprint of the class. And at last we have the emit method that is going to take the event name and some arguments. So it could be n number of arguments. So let's use the operators, spread operator, and collect it, and we'll emit the event. We'll emit the event here. Okay. So now let's implement the subscribe. So let's talk about example here. So what all can we do here? That as per the description, we'll have the emitter, and to the constructor call we have no no arguments, and then we can subscribe. So to use that, we'll use the subscribe method, and let's say our event here is called modify, and to this modify let's pass a callback. And in this callback, let's say we have a method or variable called channel, which is empty right now, but whenever this modify event is invoked, we'll assign the value which is passed to this callback. So let's do that, and we can emit, and this is going to return us the subscription, which we can use to release if we want. So after this we can emit, so we can use emitter dot emit, and we'll call the modify, and let's say we are passing devtools.tech/youtube. This is the link. So what should happen here is that we'll create the instance we subscribe to modify event, and when we emit it, then it should set the value, the channel key should be updated. And let's do one more thing. Let's release this subscription and then emit it again. So right now we can change it to something else, maybe a YouTube link. So what we can do here is, just to test it out, let's add a callbacks here. Initially the channel link, then inside the callback we can say modified channel link, and we'll pass the channel here. And after the release, when we call, let's see what we can say after release. Now, so I've written an example here, but right now it's not going to be executed because we have nothing. So if I execute now, then we are going to see a lot of errors. So let's start implementing. So first we need to call the constructor, and we have already done that. And when we are subscribing, so we are getting the event name and the callback, so we need to store these things. So to do that, let's create a storage. Let's call it subscriptions, and let's create a new map. And so map is what we call a key value DS in JS. So basically key value pair data structure in JavaScript. So you can use an object here also, but if we go to the map on MDN, so my one aspect of picking this question is to make you understand that there are other data structures in JavaScript apart from arrays and objects. There are sets, there are maps, weak set, weak map. So explore those. Try to see if those type of data sets are more suited for my use case. For example, in this case, it says that map is an object that holds key value pairs. And if you scroll down and if you see objects versus maps, we'll see that map is in many cases are much better. Like in object there is a prototype, and you can prototype already contains certain keys, but in terms of map it is empty by default, and it contains only the keys that we explicitly put in. It is comparatively safer because in objects prototype there could be attacks, injection attacks. Key types could be anything. For map, the key order is maintained in map, the insertion order, but in objects earlier we can't determine or can't base a decision on the object keys, but now they are the order is maintained, but still it is recommended that you do not make a decision on the order keys. Plus in terms of size, if I want to know how many subscriptions do I have, then I can use the size property of the map. For object, I need to use object.keys to find an array, then use the length property on it, and so on. Map is iteratable and serialization and so on, multiple things. So that's why I'm using a map here rather than an object. So coming back to our solution, so we have created the subscriptions key, which is a map. Now whenever the subscribe method is called, we have the event name and we need to store it. Okay, so now to store it, let's see what happens here. What would be our implementation? So this subscription would be, let's say I'm denoting it with an object for right now, this would be an empty object. We need to check that if this event name, let's say in our case is modify, is it already there? If yes, then we need to set the value. Else will against this modify, because like we have seen that against the same event name there could be multiple callbacks. So that means this modify would be a data structure also, like it could be an array, it could be an object, it could be something else. Okay, because we need to store multiple callbacks against this event name. So what we can do here is that we can say if this dot subscriptions has event name, or in this case if we don't have it, then what we are going to do is that this dot underscore subscriptions, we are going to set the event name, uh, and we are going to pass a new map. So basically what we are going to do is that inside our main subscriptions map, we are going to say that this modify will have a new map here. I'm denoting map with an object here, so that you know inside this map we can store our callbacks. So this is, once this is done, now we have to actually store it. So you could have used an array here, but for that we then if we want to release it, then we have to iterate over it, the all the total length of the array and find that particular element. Plus map is a key value pair, so we need some unique key to store this callback. So for this, let's create a variable called maybe subscription. Mhm. Subscription ID, and for a unique value we are going to use a symbol here. Now this is like what we do sometimes to uh, something like this, like new date, we use this as a unique value, or sometimes we use like a UUID uh, for to generate a unique key. If we go to symbol, basically symbol is a new built-in object, a new primitive value. We have numbers, we have strings, we have functions. Just like that, we have another type in JavaScript which is called symbol, and the symbol is guaranteed to be unique because there is a global registry where every symbol is registered. So it is guaranteed to be unique, so you can use it as for a key or for a unique ID. And so now once we have the subscription ID, we'll find this map which we have just created. So we can call event subscription, and we can say this dot unders get, and we can find the event name. So, or let me close this for more real estate. So we'll get the map which we are setting on line number 24. We'll get that value, and inside this event subscriptions, we'll set the using the subscription ID, and we'll pass our callback. So basically we are, when we on line number 30, we are getting the callback which, or getting the map which we created, just like line number 17. And in this map we are setting the callback or storing the callback. So let's say this, I'm just explaining, it is unique ID, some unique ID, and we are storing the callback which we are receiving on line number 10. Now we want to release it too. So it is simple that we can use event.subscription.delete, and we can pass the subscription ID. It is as simple as that, because it's a map and we can pass the subscription ID, and once we do that, this is deleted on line number 19. However, let's say there is a case that once we release it, then we again try to emit it or again try to release it, reuse. Then in that case, it could be an error, it could be, we can simply return. That depends on the use case. So you can ask the interviewer a follow-up question that what if we do something like this, that subscription dot release, and then we do subscription dot release again. So in that case, should we gracefully handle it, should we throw a type error or a runtime error, what should we do here? Because in an interview, it's not just about the happy flows, we should always be mindful about the edge cases, about the sad flows. So for that, what we can do here is that uh, if we don't have it, like if what we can do here is that if event subscriptions has, or not, yeah, in this case subscription ID, if we don't have it, then maybe we can throw a new error where we'll say subscription is already released, or in this case subscription is already released. So we are throwing an error for the user. Now What else? So our subscribe method is done. Let's go to emit. So in emit, what we want to do is that we will find this all the callbacks assigned against this, and then we are going to invoke them and pass all the arguments we have collected here. So again, we can do event subscriptions, which is this dot subscriptions, and we'll pass the event name. So by doing so, we'll get so if the event name is modify, we'll get this map where we are storing all the callbacks against their unique IDs. And let's say if we don't have the event subscriptions, we get some null or falsy value, then maybe we can simply return or throw an error. Just take it as a follow-up question with the interviewer. Let's say we have that, so we need all the callbacks stored here. So for that, what we can do here is event.subscriptions.forEach, because we just need the values. So the first argument would be value. What we can do is we can call the value, because this is a function. You can put a check also here if you want, or in this case, when we want to subscribe, let's say when we want to subscribe, we can do a check here also, that if there is no callback, or if type of callback is not equal to function, then we'll throw a new type error saying that callback should be a function. So this is just a sanity check, early escape guardrails, which what we call. So if we do that here, we don't need to add a check here for the value. It would be a function always. We will just call it and we'll pass all the arguments here. And now if I run this, it says this dot subscriptions is not a function. Oh my god, why? Okay, so this is bad. So it would be get, not, because it's a map, and inside this map we need to get the value. See, all the test cases are passing here. And the code we wrote down here, like we created an emitter, we initially logging it, then we are subscribing, and then again emitting, releasing, emitting, and again. So if we see console, initially our channel is empty. Okay, then we have the modified link, which is devtools.tech/youtube. So that is fine, because we were invoking, or we were emitting event and passing this link. Then we release the subscription, but if we try to emit again, then it is not reflected. The link is still the same, because once we have released, then it is not going to affect our channel variable. But if I do something like this, like if I try to release it again, and if I run this, then if I go, then it says, it throws an error that subscription is already released. So this is it. This is the event emitter for now, which takes care of subscribe and emit, and it takes care of all the edge cases also. So this is the end of the video. I hope you were able to learn something new today. If you feel that I missed out or something, or some mistake, or there is a better way to do this, then definitely please feel free to reach out, submit your solution, share it on social platforms, tag me, or share it in the comments, whatever is comfortable to you. You have the links as always on the screen, topmate.io/Yomesh Gupta. This is the link if you want to, just want to discuss the question with me. If you want to talk about your career, my career, or, just want to have mock interview sessions, then this is the link. Apart from that, if you are unsure where to start, then just use devtools.tech/practice. This would give you a random question from our database, and one question per day would be a good start. And As always, if you see value, if you see this content is helping you, then please do like, share and subscribe. Leave a like, leave a comment, share it with your friends, share it with your colleagues, share it on your social platform. It means a lot, it motivates me to do more. So till next time, see you, take care, bye bye.